So, welcome to everyone. And let's find our way into practice together and into love together by reminding ourselves of where we are. And where we are is in love. We're in an atmosphere of love. As love surrounds us and holds us. And as we open ourselves to love, love then molds us, affects us. We can feel it. We can feel how our beings respond when we sense the presence of love. And the more time we spend in love, the more like love we become. So we didn't meet last week because Mark and I were finishing, and Karen and Dave were finishing the football game. And turns out that our team won. And we were happy. And later in the week, I think it was Wednesday, I was writing a chapter in the book. And I was writing about compassion, about allowing ourselves to feel the things that come into the world and come into our experience, and then to be with them. And I've talked with you all about that before. So on that day, as I was writing about that, I wrote something like, and the next time the bombs start falling, or I was talking about the bad things that happen in the world. And then I got a text from Mark. And he said, "Did you see what happened at the Chiefs celebration parade? Gunshots broke out, 1 dead, 20 people taken to the ER, 9 of them children. And this was a celebration." So maybe you heard about that this week. But if not, you've heard about things just like that before. And so when this happens, we feel things. This is where I'm going to ask you guys to unmute and just pop in with what we feel when we find that we are in another situation like this.
I feel heartbroken and angry, probably in equal amounts.
I also felt heartbroken and a deep sense of grief and compassion.
Sense of despair and just kind of overwhelmed with the complexity of the situation.
So even if you're not a football fan, chime in what your feelings are when you hear about the painful happenings in the world.
I feel numb. There's been so much of it. It's numbing.
I feel helpless. Yeah, that's real, and that's a feeling that I hate. I feel so sad. I feel confused. Um, I feel all of the things you guys already said. Um, I feel a big confusion about why we can't change things or how to change things. And I find myself, and you can maybe tell me what this feeling is, because I find myself asking why. It probably does come out of that despair and that overwhelm. Why? Why? So I had just got done writing about what to do when these things happen. And then it happened. And it was such an interesting moment because I thought, oh, I need to stop. I need to listen to what I am actually telling people to do. So here's some of what I was writing. In terms of compassion, I have always taken that to mean I am the holder of love, care, compassion for others, for the world, for myself. And when a painful situation is present, then I offer my compassion to that person. And in a way, like it's some sort of love laser beam or compassion laser beam that goes to Kansas City or goes to my friend. And so I often wonder, does it matter? Does it help? But I know it helps that I'm a loving person in the world. So as I become more aware of compassion, and when we break down the word, the first part of the word, C-O-M, comes from the Latin with. And the second part of the word comes from the Latin that passion comes from, which is actually to suffer. So the word actually means to be with someone in their suffering. It does mean to suffer with, and we all know that unless it's our own experience, we cannot feel exactly what people were feeling, who may have lost people or whose child was shot or hurt. We can't feel that exactly, but we can stay with whatever is arising in and for us. And so we can do this when a friend is in pain or confusion, or something challenging is happening in our immediate community or vicinity. And we can even do it with ourself when ourself is in a state of anxiety or fear or despair or just confusion. So recalling that this simple being with the one who is suffering, it is exactly that. We don't attempt to fix, we don't attempt to come up with answers. We don't try to figure out what needs to be done next time. What we do first is to be with whatever is arising in us so that we can be with our anger. And we don't jump over any of this because this feeling of what is present is where love will transform us. It is where love will heal us. And we tend to think that feeling these things are going to hurt us. It is probably likely, much, much more likely, that it goes the opposite way. That feeling what is here allows us to stay clean, to let things in and then let them flow out again. So we skip over the step of feeling and staying with what is here. So I said the next time the bombs are dropping, as they are right now in Ukraine and Gaza, instead of looking for more information, what happened, who's at fault, what went wrong, I invite us to just stop and practice surrendered presence and try to be with whatever's arising. So I did that on Wednesday. And I dropped straight down into my presence, into my being. I didn't need to imagine specific people. I stayed with my own feelings. And what that feeling took me to, it was just like riding a wave. I think riding the wave of actually what compassion is, till I come to this point of just full open-heartedness and deep grief for everybody involved, deep grief for, as Dave said, the complexity of this situation and the reality that no one tries to inflict pain on others unless they are in pain themselves and suffering themselves. And that just blew my heart farther open to care for others. So our practice, what we do together here, prepares us to be with whatever is present for us, rather than pushing it away or shoving it away, judging it as a feeling that's good or bad. And once we feel it, love will guide us. Love will guide us in letting it flow through us or causing us to act because we can't keep looking the other way. So let's practice together. So I invite you to settle into your space, to be in an inner posture and a physical posture that allows you to be both relaxed and attentive. And then to just drop into your own experience. And just noticing whatever it is that's here now without any judgment. Maybe you're sleepy or distracted or bored. Maybe you're hungry. Maybe you're alert and focused. Just notice what's here, and when you notice it, then name it silently to yourself. Paying attention to ourselves and noticing, being able to name our own experience is the beginning of presence. And we deepen and support our presence by bringing our awareness into our body. And so we notice our feet and we simply notice them. We give them all our attention for this moment. And we notice our lower legs. And our upper legs. And our hips. We notice our pelvis and our belly. We notice our chest and our shoulders. We notice our arms and our hands. We notice our back. And our neck. We notice our scalp and our face. And then we notice ourselves as one whole physical being. We notice what it is like for our body to be here now. This is coming to know our own presence. And staying deeply grounded in the body. Begin to include your inner experiences. Noticing your heart, any emotions or feelings, subtle sensations that arise from different areas of knowing in the body. you what images might come. And even including our thoughts and attempting not to judge any of this. Seeing if you can allow whatever is here to be welcome here. And now becoming aware of how you are being acted upon by the force of gravity. How you're being drawn into the earth and held here. So feeling yourself held. Recognizing very powerfully that you are not doing the holding. You are being held. The only work you have to do in that holding is to allow yourself to be held. And when we know we are held, we can begin to relax. So once again, checking in with your sense of presence, your here-ness. And your experience of being held. And bringing your awareness then to your breath. And simply observing as the breath comes in and flows back out again. And seeing if you can just allow that breath, every cycle of breath, to drop you a little bit deeper into relaxation, into surrender. The out breath of the physical body has a very important role. It's carrying out things that build up in the body that would be harmful for us if they weren't cleared away. We relax and let go for the exact same reason. That all of the psychic toxins that build up can be carried out. But in order to do that, we have to let them go. So when you feel ready, just allowing that out breath to carry you all the way out into complete surrender. Letting it carry you into a state of simple being. And if you don't find yourself there, don't struggle. Just feel yourself here on whatever level you're able to. Returning to the breath and letting go. As you go into your week, I invite you to feel whatever comes, the joy, the happiness, the delight, the simple pleasure, the sadness, the grief, the fear. Trusting that it can flow into your being and flow out again. Thank you so much for practicing with me and supporting my own practice. Love to you all.